is oh, this I felt like I wasn't ready for it. I felt like it had come around so quickly. That's the thing, when you think about, I'm going to turn 40, it seems so long, so far off, like something like that is in the future, far, far away. And then I was turning 40 and I didn't feel ready for it. Hi, so does life begin at 40? I've often heard the saying, oh, life begins at 40. You're going to love your 40s, life begins at 40. Well, I'm going to be 42. And I think it depends on the individual. That's where I'm going to start. I think for some people, it may be wonderful. They may feel much more confident about who they are. They may really understand what the next 30, 40 years of their life is going to be like. And they are fully charged, ready to go, ready to actualize their dreams, and they understand what values they have and what they want to impart to other people. Whereas maybe other people may feel like, I'm now in my 40s, have I actually realized my potential? What's going to happen to my dreams? Were they just unrealistic? And is this it? Is this it? And will I never really follow that path that I wanted to? And do I now have to just live this life where I don't feel happy or fulfilled? So I think it can differ from person to person. For me, life begins at 40. Now, upfront, I will say to you, I was not super excited about turning 40. In fact, that is an understatement. I was not even really happy about turning 40. I was sad about it. I didn't want to be 40. I wanted to still be in my 30s. I wanted to be 39 for a long, long time. And I know a lot of people, they really, really embrace their 40s, and that's fantastic. I'm saying that's great. But I wasn't one of those people. I just wasn't. I felt sad about it. I felt like, okay, well, then after my 40s, it's 50. And it was just hard to navigate and actually like think, yes, you are now saying goodbye to that part of your life and you're welcoming this part. So I wasn't very welcoming of my 40s, to be honest. But the statement of life begins at your 40. I think that, yes, I do feel more confident in my 40s. I'm going to be 42. I do feel like I understand that the learning continues irrespective of what age you are. I also think that by looking at other people that are not only in their 40s but their 50s, their 60s, their 70s, 80s, etc., and who are living life so well in terms of doing what they really want to do, in terms of not putting limitations on themselves. They are traveling, they are spending quality time with people that they love, they still have many friends, they actively, I mean, my word, I see it all the time that people who are in their 60s and 70s have such active social lives, from the senior citizens groups, they have yoga groups, and they have so many meetups with friends, and I think that really keeps them going. So I think what I'm seeing as I'm getting older is that life can feel very fulfilling because you now understand that it is the things that you value the most. What is it that you value the most? And can you contribute or put in more time, invest more time in things that you value the most? So if it's family, if it's friends, if it's socializing, if it's time with loved ones, then you make sure that you have that time allocated for those things. So with life beginning at 40, I also think that I personally also know that and understand that time is limited rather, And what am I going to do with this time? How will I spend this time in a way that at the end of the day, I will say that I enjoyed my time, this time well spent. And I am not talking about being productive for my word, no. Yes, there is a place for productivity, and I'll always say that. There is a place, of course there is. But I'm talking about also being in the moment, also enjoying your time. And I think in my 40s, I'm learning that time is absolutely valuable. We can know it intellectually that time is valuable. Of course we can. But as we get older, as I get older, I have felt that that idea of time being valuable is really cemented in my mind now. That I think, okay, if I'm going to do this and there's not really much enjoyment to that, that I'm not going to actually allocate my time to that if there's no benefit to it. Because obviously sometimes you may be spending certain time like learning a new skill. You may not really actually enjoy it, but maybe there's great benefit to it in the long term. So then it makes sense to invest that time. So understanding those things. But I will tell you, like, being in my 40s now, it doesn't mean to say that you will embrace all of it, you know? Because, like, this morning I had a grey hair somewhere there, and I was like, gosh, these grey hairs are so persistent. Uh, so I'm not going to go all grey. I'm not going to let myself be all grey, you know? Eventually, I will start changing my hair color. So it's not like you are forced to embrace every single aspect of getting older as well. So for me, life beginning at 40 means that you start to feel like, okay, you have the self-confidence to enjoy the things that matter the most to you and to have real, meaningful, deep connections to the people that you really love in your life and who provide wonderful energy into your life, because that's something that I also really think about in my 40s is energy. What energy are you putting out in the world and what energy are you receiving? And I think that's so, so important. And I kind of understood it in my 20s and 30s, but not to the extent that I do understand it now. Because when you start feeling excited about things, when you start feeling like you look forward to something, you know, it creates such joy in your life. So I think that through every stage of your life, what 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, if you can make sure that there are things that you are going to look forward to, things that you know that you enjoy. For example, if you know that you absolutely love spending time with your friends, you love going for lunches with them, and you haven't done that in a while, make sure you schedule time to do that, you know. Another way that I found that life begins at 40 is that you can start, pause, and stop so many particular journeys in your life. For example, just say that you are learning how to play tennis, right? You haven't ever played tennis before, and you've started, but now you have injured your foot. You can pause that journey of learning how to play tennis, but then you can continue it. It doesn't have to be like, okay, I've injured my foot. I'm not going to do this ever again. I'm not going to play tennis. That's now gone. No, because it's okay to start, pause, or completely stop a journey. It is okay to do either one of those things. So just being more understanding of who you are and patient and kind to yourself is really, really important, irrespective of which part of our lives we are at. So, if you're at this age, like 40 or over, what do you want from the rest of your life? It's a huge question, isn't it? I mean, yes, we all think about our lives, but what do we actually want? What do we want? And often it's not even the materialistic things, isn't it? It's often just like wanting peace, wanting contentment, wanting to feel like when you pass away, you'll be remembered for helping people or making a difference or just adding joy to people's lives. Nobody wants to be remembered for something negative, you know. I want to be remembered in a good light. And I think, like, being in my 40s now, the question for me is, well, what do I want to do with the rest of my life? And I think that's why it was difficult turning 40, was understanding that, okay, you now have probably this amount of time left, and what do you actually want to do with it? So that was quite, it is still quite a challenging question. But I've also realized that, you know what? You don't have to have it figured out completely at a certain point. You go with the flow, you figure things out as you go along, and that's okay. So comment below and let us know, what do you think? Does life really begin at 40? I mean, is that just a cliche? Is it true? Do you feel good in your 40s? Do you feel great in your 40s? How is it going for you? Let us know. Let us know. And if you'd like to watch this video, it's about positive self-talk. I'm not positive all the time. No, absolutely not. But positive self-talk has helped me. It's made me feel more confident. It's made me understand that positive thinking definitely does help when things don't seem to be going right. And have a fantastic week, really. Have an absolutely fantastic week. And I hope that you're well. You take care and you keep well. Bye bye.